Hi, welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. I'm just looking in my my book of quotations, famous quotations by really clever people I admire. And I've read this one before, but it seems to be so significant because of the fact that we are scared of so many things. I know people who were scared of being in a room without windows, who couldn't go on an elevator, couldn't go all kinds of things stop them from doing things that they wanted. This is a quote, a favourite of mine, by Georgia O'Keeffe, the famous artist of beautiful flowers. She said, "I've been absolutely terrified every moment of my life, and I've never let it keep me from doing a single thing that I wanted to do." Now that's quite a lady. We're not all cut out to be so brave, but one thing that I do notice is that sometimes the things that we say show that we're scared. They show the things that we're scared of. And if you know someone who is constantly saying, "I hate that. I hate that kind of thing. I hate that when a person does that. I hate when anybody says that. I hate, I hate, I hate." These are all rejections of any given person, thought, speech, talk. It's all about not being able to confront certain things, any given thing. And it's only when you embrace things that you really do find your true courage. What's courage about anyway? Nobody who was not scared is considered courageous. I mean, if he wasn't scared, then it didn't take any courage to do that incredibly brave thing that he did. Being scared is an important part of finding your courage, of finding your own point of heroism. Now, can you be your own hero? I think that you can. If you find something that you're really scared of and you still do it, then you are being your own hero. Now, strangely enough, the people that can often be the bravest, the most courageous, are artists or artistes, people who get up on a stage and sing, get up on a stage and act in a certain way. I read that Henry Fonda, even into his 80s, used to vomit before he went on stage when he was doing live theatre, because he was so afraid. And of course, as soon as he stepped onto the stage, he became the Henry Fonda that we know, totally in control, totally brave, courageous, and everything. Prior to that, he was as lily-livered as the rest of us. That should give some consolation to those people who actually give in to the fear. So, if you're going to find your own level of heroism, your own level of courage, your own level of being brave, then you need to face those things which make you scared and do them anyway. Now, there are some very clever people, especially for Nike, who they've got some great sayings out there, haven't they? Do it anyway. Just do it. These are incredibly important, profound things to say and to apply to yourself. You know, just do it. Do it anyway. I read a book once, said, feel the fear and do it anyway. They're very simple phrases, but the impact on your life, if you actually go ahead and put them into practice, is enormous. A lot of the time, if, for instance, Beth will come up to me. Beth is completely fearless. My wife Beth, my warrior princess, is completely fearless when it comes to volunteering me to do a lot of videos. And she'll come up and say, without a flinch, without a single element of fear in her, she'll say, do 5 videos. And I say, excuse me, Beth, I don't have a switch at the back here that says on and off. She said, yeah, well, all right then, we'll do 6. These are the things that we need to face. These are the dragons that we need to face. So I found that one of the most important elements that must be present, or absent if you wish, is thinking. So I could take my book, there it is, quotations. I could take this book and actually, if I chose to, if I stopped thinking, I could take this book and I could leaf through it and I could easily find a quotation that inspired in me something to talk about, something that I would have found was real in my life. And I can look through this and I can find easily. Let me read a couple of these quotations. Now we're talking about fear, so let's look at the ones for fear. Gertrude Stein said this: considering how dangerous everything is, nothing is really very frightening. That's a good one. This is Paolo Cholo, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. In other words, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. Here's another. Jonathan Safran IV. You cannot protect yourself from sadness without protecting yourself from happiness. In other words, you've got to risk everything. You've got to be prepared to do things. You've got to be prepared to be your own hero. You've got to be prepared to face that dragon and do it anyway. I can remember someone who got up and did something, sang a song, told a joke, did an act, did something that right at that moment I was afraid to do. And why was I afraid to do it? Well, the justifiers that I gave to myself were, well, I'm afraid to do that because I'll mess it up. I'll make a mistake. I'll make a fool of myself. And that was my reason, which is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. Because if you make a mistake, well, so what? It really doesn't matter. And then somebody else got up in my place and made an absolute lash up of it and smiled and was happy that he'd done it, because he'd actually faced a dragon and he'd done it. And that's one of the observations that I've made in my life, where there's no point in being scared to do anything. Just get up and do it. It's not easy. I accept that, and I'm not always as good as I might be making you think. I'm not. But anyway, that's my little book of quotations. I'll use it often during the course of making these videos during the day, and it will form the basis for having a little chat. So rather than the late night meanderings, it seems that it's turned around, that here we are, it's 25 to 4 and Beth is still not home, so these are mid-afternoon meanderings. I hope you enjoy them, hope you get something from them. This is A Foreigner in the Philippines. Bye for now.